You might think attraction is all about looks, perfect skin, the right outfit, maybe a killer smile. But here's the truth. Most women don't want to hear. Men lose interest over things that have nothing to do with how you were born and everything to do with how you show up. You can be stunning at first glance, yet one wrong habit, one off-putting behavior, and suddenly the spark is gone. These 5 reasons prove exactly why. Number 5, hygiene kills attraction. You can be the most fascinating woman in the room, but if your hygiene and grooming are off, the magic ends before it even begins. Attraction doesn't politely fade, it crashes. Men may not always articulate it, but poor self-care is one of the biggest deal breakers. Think body odor that lingers like an unwanted guest, greasy hair that looks like it hasn't seen shampoo in days, or chipped nails that scream neglect. Wrinkled or stained clothes don't just look careless, they silently broadcast that you don't care enough to present yourself well. And here's the brutal truth. If you don't care about you, why should he? But let's be clear, going in the opposite direction doesn't solve the problem. Overcompensating with heavy makeup, layers of contour, and perfume strong enough to announce your presence before you walk in doesn't make you alluring. It makes you overwhelming. Men aren't typically drawn to the mask of perfection. They're drawn to the subtle polish that enhances who you are. When you bury yourself under artificial layers, it doesn't whisper mystery, it shouts insecurity. And grooming isn't limited to what you see in the mirror. Posture, body language, and the way you carry yourself are part of the package. Slouching, shuffling, or fidgeting comes across as lack of confidence, even laziness. Standing tall, moving with intention, and meeting someone's eyes with quiet certainty sends an entirely different message. You value yourself. You respect the impression you make. Hygiene and grooming are primal signals. They go deeper than lipstick and hairbrushes. They reveal how much pride you take in yourself, and men instinctively pick up on that. Number 4, attitude turns toxic. You've probably heard the phrase, confidence is sexy. And it's true, confidence lights up a room faster than the most expensive dress. But here's where so many women slip. When confidence crosses the line into arrogance, entitlement, or constant negativity, it doesn't elevate you, it poisons the entire atmosphere. Men might admire your looks for a moment, but if you carry yourself with a sharp tongue, dismissive tone, or a never-ending stream of complaints, you instantly lose the very allure you were trying to build. It's not about being fake or sugary sweet. That's just as unappealing. What matters is the energy you bring. If you're quick to criticize everyone around you, if you roll your eyes instead of listening, or if you treat waitstaff poorly while trying to impress your date, it's game over. Men don't just notice, they remember. Your attitude becomes your fragrance, lingering long after the moment is over. And trust me, if it reeks of bitterness, no one will want a second encounter. Now, let's flip the perspective. Think about the women who captivate a room without trying. They laugh easily, they listen attentively, and they engage with genuine curiosity. That doesn't mean they agree with everything. It means they know how to disagree without being dismissive. They can carry themselves with poise even when things don't go their way. That combination of warmth and quiet strength is magnetic. Men, and honestly, everyone, gravitate toward people who make them feel lighter, not heavier. Here's the shocking part. Your attitude shows even when you don't say a word. The sharpness of your silence, the way you cross your arms like a barrier, or the subtle sighs that drip with impatience, all of it communicates as loudly as your voice. If you constantly radiate frustration, bitterness, or superiority, men will instinctively pull back. Attraction doesn't thrive on perfection, it thrives on presence. When your presence is toxic, your beauty doesn't stand a chance. Number 3, clinginess crashes desire. Needing affection is human. Craving connection is natural. But when need tips over into clinginess, attraction suffocates. You might think your constant attention shows love, but to a man, it can feel like surveillance. The endless texting, the demand for instant replies, the suspicion when he spends time with friends, These aren't signs of romance, they're signs of insecurity. And insecurity, no matter how it's dressed, drains desire. Here's what happens in his mind. Instead of feeling excited to see you, he starts feeling pressure. Instead of enjoying your presence, he worries about managing your reactions. The thrill of romance turns into the weight of responsibility. And when love feels like babysitting, it stops feeling like love at all. Men don't want to be the center of your entire universe. They want to share their world with someone who has a vibrant one of her own. Clinginess doesn't announce itself with a banner. It creeps in quietly, through the small accusations, the constant, "Where are you?" questions, or the fear that silence means rejection. What it really reveals is a lack of trust, both in him and in yourself. And trust me, men pick up on that fear immediately. Nothing kills passion faster than the feeling of being trapped. But here's the irony. Independence is what actually draws men closer. When you pursue your passions, maintain your friendships, and stand confidently on your own 2 feet, you become irresistible. You're not begging for attention, you're commanding it, naturally. Instead of fear, you radiate freedom. And freedom, far more than constant need, is what makes a man want to stay. So the next time you're tempted to cling tighter, pause. Ask yourself, am I acting from love or from fear? Because one builds attraction and the other smothers it. Number 2, boring kills chemistry. Looks might open the door, but personality is what keeps someone walking through it. And here's the harsh truth. Beauty without energy is forgettable. If every conversation revolves around small talk, if you have no interests outside of scrolling your phone, if every date feels like déjà vu, attraction fizzles. Men aren't seeking endless entertainment, but they are drawn to women who bring something to the table beyond appearance. Think of it like this. Chemistry thrives on surprise, curiosity, and just a touch of unpredictability. If you're always too tired to try something new, if you never share your passions, or if you've stopped cultivating any hobbies at all, you leave him with nothing to discover. And discovery is the fuel that keeps relationships alive. Being boring isn't about being quiet, it's about being disengaged. You can be soft-spoken and still captivating if your eyes light up when you talk about a subject you love, if you ask thoughtful questions, if you carry an energy that says you're fully present. But if you're just coasting, nodding without listening, and contributing nothing fresh, you fade into the background. Beauty might catch his eye, but without depth, you won't hold it. Here's the twist. Men don't need a stand-up comedian or a thrill seeker. What they crave is a partner who breathes life into their life. That means nurturing your curiosity, developing your talents, and building stories worth sharing. When you have passions of your own, you naturally become magnetic in his world. Passion isn't just attractive, it's contagious. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Being boring is usually a choice. It's choosing routine over curiosity, comfort over growth, silence over depth. Every time you make that choice, you chip away at the spark. Chemistry doesn't die because beauty fades. It dies because the conversation does. But there's a catch. You can have all the wit, energy, and charisma in the world, and it still won't matter if you fall into the one trap that kills everything faster than boredom. That's where we get into something even more dangerous. Games. Number 1, games destroy trust. If there's one thing men find universally unattractive, it's being played. Manipulation may feel clever in the moment, but the damage it causes is irreversible. Playing hard to get, stringing someone along, creating jealousy to test their loyalty, it doesn't create passion. It creates exhaustion. What begins as fun soon feels like deception, and deception kills trust faster than anything else. Trust is the foundation of attraction. Without it, every smile feels fake. Every word sounds rehearsed. Every gesture seems calculated. And once a man senses he's being manipulated, the chase ends, not because he lost interest in you, but because he lost faith in the game. No amount of beauty can rebuild that. Here's the irony. Many women play games because they fear being too available. They think withholding attention makes them more desirable. But the opposite is true. Authenticity is magnetic. When you're straightforward about your interest, when you're clear with your intentions, you stand out precisely because so few people are willing to be that real. Games don't make you mysterious, they make you replaceable. And nothing is more unattractive than someone who can't be trusted. Men don't fall for puzzles, they fall for women who make them feel secure, excited, and respected. Honesty is not just refreshing, it's irresistible. So the next time you're tempted to test him, remember, the strongest move isn't manipulation, it's transparency. Because attraction isn't built in games, it's built in trust. And without trust, there is no spark, no matter how beautiful you are. And there you have it, 5 reasons men quietly lose attraction. The little habits matter more than you think. But when you show up with confidence and authenticity, you become magnetic. Ready to carry that energy into your style? This next video will inspire you.